Hello everyone and welcome to His and Hers Movie Reviews, where we spend money so that you don't have to.
And today we're doing a special segment called the Top 10 Movies of 2015.
And there were a lot of good movies this year. However, some stood out. So we are going to give you our individual lists of top 10 and kind of just tell you maybe a couple of things we liked and disliked about each movie.
And I will go first. Number 10, Avengers Age of Ultron. Likes, I loved Vision's makeup, that it wasn't CGI, there was more practical makeup. Dislike, that Ultron wasn't a main bad villain. I didn't feel like he was like a really good bad guy. Number 9, Ex Machina. A like, I love that the CGI on this chick looks so real.
Oh yeah.
Dislike, I don't know, I didn't like the ending. I don't know, it was kind of open ending, I didn't like it. Okay. Number 8, Straight Outta Compton. Like, that it was a true to life story. I love those type of movies, you all know. Dislike, that it felt kind of long, dragged out towards the third act. Number 7, The Walk. Like, I love that it was, again, like a true life story and that it was just a cool movie, visually beautiful.
Felt surprisingly good.
Yes, it was. Dislike, I don't know.
Just that it was like
I
something.
Yeah, it was just, it wasn't like a standout movie. Okay, number 6, my last one, Inside Out. My likes, I just love Pixar. And the whole concept, it was so different from any other Pixar movie. Dislike, I don't know, I felt like it could have been a little bit more, I don't know, emotional? I don't
Emotional?
I don't know. I mean, it was all about feelings.
Sorry, you're put on the spot right now. Alright, so my 10 through 6. I'm going to start with It Follows as my 10. And that one, I just feel like it was kind of a sleeper for me. Like, it was a little odd, but I enjoyed it. And it was kind of a good experience.
It was different.
At the theater. So, that's my top 10. That's actually my top 10. A lot of people might disagree, but whatever. Number 9 is Steve Jobs. That movie was just acted amazingly by everybody. There wasn't a whole lot that I disliked about the movie. I really liked the way it was acted. There were some slow burner parts, but that's just part of the movie, and I enjoyed it. So that's number 9. Number 8 is Straight Outta Compton. Straight Outta Compton. That movie was actually pretty entertaining, and I believe that we both had that at number 8.
Yes.
So that's one of the two that matched. You'll see the other ones. The Straight Outta Compton, I was just super entertained by it, but again, it wasn't like one of the greatest. Number 7, Inside Out, which I believe you had as 6. I dropped it down 1. Inside Out, it was a really good animated movie. I really enjoyed it. It had a really good message that you have to, take sadness and not try to get rid of it. It's part of you. It makes you. So I really liked that movie, and it was the animation. It was funny. It was awesome. But it doesn't go up any higher because the entertainment value, I just can't watch it too many times. Number 6, Ant-Man. And Ant-Man was just a really good superhero movie, and it was different. It was actually not like really a superhero movie. It was more like a heist. Everybody knows that by now if you've watched it. But it was fun. It was a fun movie. So that one is my number 6.
Okay, so now we're going to go into a little bit more depth with our top 5. Funny, my number 5 is Ant-Man. Like he said, it was a heist movie. It wasn't really like a superhero movie. That's why I liked it more than I think I usually would for any Marvel movie, although I don't.
It was better than the Avengers, I'll tell you that much.
That's why it's number 5 on my list. And Avengers isn't on my
And it's a sad world where Avengers Age of Ultron didn't even make it into my top 10.
I know. I was surprised. I was like, are you sure? He said, yeah. So, number 4 for me was Creed with Sylvester Stallone. I think it was one of his top performances in the movie.
That movie was amazing.
It was a lot of feels. It was happy. It was sad. It was emotional. It was good stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge follower of the Rocky movies, but that one was actually it might be one of my favorites. Although like the first one, is still really enjoyable to watch. The becoming of it, but this was a really nice reboot in a way of the franchise, and I really enjoyed it. It's
Very
definitely
good movie.
really good movie.
My number 3 is Mad Max Fury Road, and I was actually fighting between 2 and 3 for this one. We just watched Mad Max last night, and I was like, you know what? The first time I watched this, I was super into it. I was super like, because it's so different. It's such a different movie than any other movie on this list. But again, like the rewatchability for me, like I thought I was gonna be into it again, like I was the first time last night, but I really wasn't. But I still love the freaking movie. I love it.
All right, now I'm gonna go because we were supposed to go back and forth.
OMG.
And
we did not.
We kind of didn't do that. So my number 5 was Creed, and she already got into that movie, but I really enjoyed the movie and the way that the boxing sequences were shot, and it was just a really good emotional movie when it came down to Michael B. Jordan. That's his name.
Mm-hmm.
And Stallone, one of his best performances that I've seen, and it was just a really good movie. And that was my number 5, just because there were some better. And my number 4 is Ex Machina. Now I have that higher than she does on my list because I love that movie. That movie actually kind of got to me in a way that I'm a science fiction geek type of thing. So I just really enjoyed the science fiction aspect of this movie and the way that it was so different than the kind of stuff that we've seen recently. It brought like a horror aspect to science fiction, and it's one of my top, obviously, movies this year. Number 3 for me is actually The Martian. Now, that movie was easily like top 1 or 2 favorite this year if it wasn't for some of the other movies that came out this year. Star Wars. That came out later in the year, and this movie was amazing. I had such a good time watching The Martian. It was intense, it was beautiful, the scenery in Mars, and it was comedic. It was really good. So now we have our top 2.
My number 2 was The Martian. As you can see, our lists are very similar. We just have different orders in the way we ranked things, certain movies. Like he said, The Martian was just beautiful. I enjoyed it. I didn't want to go see the movie.
She really didn't.
I didn't.
No interest at all.
What the? I was like, okay, whatever. Let's just go for the hell of it, and I ended up really enjoying it. I love that movie. So that's my number 2. Your number 2?
My number 2 is Mad Max Fury Road. She just talked about it. She gave me the Blu-ray for Christmas because she knows how much I love the movie, and I rewatched it, and it stood up to me at least. It was just so awesome. The action sequences, the cinematography is so beautiful in this movie. There's some scenes that you're like, how the hell did they do this? Like, there's a lot of the effects are actually practical, as a lot of you might know, and that fact leaves you wondering, like, how did they accomplish this certain shot or whatever? And it was just so entertaining. It kind of gave you everything you want: emotion, over the top action. There wasn't a whole lot of comedy, but it was, it was good. The movie is my top 2 for a reason.
It's a really good action movie. Top action movie. So our number 1.
Number 1. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. And okay, and we'll talk a little bit more about this. A lot of people, I've actually read a couple of comments earlier today that the movie was overrated and things like that, but it's really not. Like, the movie came out amazing. It could have gone horribly, prequels, but it didn't. They delivered what we wanted, which is, the same comedy and the same feel from the original trilogy. And some people are like, they're just echoing the first movie, A New Hope. But okay, why is that a bad thing? First of all, a lot of people were complaining that the prequels were too different. So when they give us something that's more of the same, they complain about that too. You can't make anybody happy. I really enjoyed this movie. It was easily the best movie-going experience this year. And not just because I was fanboying, because I was, but when I saw it the second time, we watched the only movie this year we've seen more than once in theaters. When I watched it the second time, I was more relaxed, I was more collected, and I enjoyed it more than the first time.
I just feel it was a very entertaining movie. To be honest, the older movies, episodes 4, 5, and 6, it was very hard for me to get into them just because of the old style cinematography and the older style that they shot things and how the scenes played out and all that stuff. Episodes
kind of a
1,
slow
2,
burner
and
on
3.
some of them.
Yeah. Episodes 1, 2, and 3, I disliked all of them. It was just too political. I could say maybe episode 3, when Anakin's turning into Darth Vader, that I enjoyed.
It was a little edgier.
But not even watching all these movies and just watching this one by itself, it stands alone as one of the best, the most entertaining movies of this year. We went opening night in the theater, like it was just the energy in the theater. It felt so good.
It was an event. It was an event, and that was,
my God, it was
that's
so
what
much
was
fun.
fun about it. And there were a lot of movies that were kind of like that. When you think about the Avengers, when you think about some of the other movies like Ant-Man, there was a lot of excitement.
But
however, it wasn't.
Following.
Yeah, it wasn't Star Wars.
No.
Like when you see the kids and like the older people, and
The
they're like,
reaction
people are
was
dressing
so
up, and every
fun.
time a main character showed up in the screen, people cheered. It was, see, that's the first time that we watched it opening night, so everybody was kind of fanboying a little bit, and I would understand if that influences your opinion because you had fun.
Yeah.
But the second time we watched it was a lot more relaxed. It was early in the morning, and I actually got more involved into the story. Like I'm not gonna spoil anything, but you know, there were certain scenes that in the movie that were emotionally involved. They were supposed to pull you in, and the second time it achieved that more than it did the first time.
I didn't cry the first time. I cried the second time. Got to me.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
But yeah, Star Wars was easily the best movie this year for me. But don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean it's the best film, as in you know, movie, story. It's not the best film, because I actually enjoy The Martian more as a film, and even Ex Machina. I enjoy that more as a film, but I didn't have as much fun in those movies as I did with Star Wars, and that is why Star Wars took
number one.
Number one.
Number uno. So that's it, guys. We finished. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I hope that you guys stay tuned. And if you like our video, subscribe so that we can bring you more content throughout next year.
Yes. And we promise to stay on track.
Yeah, we've been kind of gone for a while, and we apologize for that. But,
sorry,
you know, holiday season, all this
food.
crap. It's just been food. It's been a little busy, but coming around this year, look forward to Deadpool, BVS, Batman vs Superman, the freaking Captain America, Civil War.
Justice. What is it though? The bad people.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
I got you. There's a lot of good movies coming out next year, and we're gonna try to review every single one for you.
Yes.
Because like we've told you guys before, we are Movie Pass subscribers. So if you're interested in Movie Pass, check them out. If you watch a lot of movies and you're a cinephile like we are, it's definitely worth it.
So worth it.
So
you guys, you know, it's always it's supposed to. You guys.
We haven't done this in a while.
It's been a while. As you know, it's important to know before you go, just in case it blows. That sounded so cool.
Peace.